Welcome to the Make It Happen with Will Polston podcast.
Super genius and creating your super genius, living your super genius. What is that?
Yeah. So I got into personal development for lots of reasons, financially, spiritually, emotionally, all sorts of things. A colorful past, both my fault and an interesting family. And I always had a ambition to live a good life, really. And when I kind of went down the road of personal development, I was like, wow, you can really actually create an amazing life. And so I did all the usual stuff, DeMartini, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, learned all tremendous things. And I kind of felt like something else was out there, not better or worse. I think everyone's can learn from everyone else. I think everyone's got a place in the world. And then I came across super consciousness and specifically how you can actually unleash your subconscious mind to create what you want using intuition and imagination. And that was about 11 years ago. And at that time I was in real estate, investing in the US, and I actually did very, very well by combining what I've learned in super consciousness to usual tactics. And I found that my intuition was innovating new strategies. I was kind of inventing things as opposed to copying how other people are doing. And I think you're familiar with the term that if you want to be successful, you've got to model other people. But then I thought, like, why not be the person that other people model, the actual genius, if that makes sense? And I started applying this mostly in entrepreneurship and created more success than I'd ever created in my life. And then I thought, gosh, I really want to share this with people. And so I started the SuperGenius brand. And now I teach people how to use very powerful, super conscious meditations, visualizations, intuitive techniques, so that they can actually bring genius into their purpose, what it is that they love. So for example, my beautiful partner, she's a dancer and she's bringing innovation and creativity into dance. Lots of my customers have brought it into property, business, a startup business. One particular customer I'm just thinking of right now came along to my workshops and was going through a divorce. So he wanted to reconnect with a new purpose. And 4 years later, with originally no musical background, inability to play an instrument, and couldn't sing, he's launched three singles in the country music charts here in the UK, and all four of them got in the top 20. So this is about creativity and giving people access to their inner wisdom and intuition.
Absolutely love that. I remember a couple of years ago, you and I were sat at a mutual friends event that we're both speaking at, and we were talking about sort of business, and you're talking about super genius, and you said that one of your visions, I don't know if it's still the vision now, but one of your visions then was to have super genius become sort of the Harvard of personal development. So what is it that you mean by that in terms of enabling people to experience the equivalent of Harvard of being the Harvard of personal development?
Yeah. Now, that good memory, by the way. I think what's really important for me, and probably where I'm a little bit different, is wrongly or rightly, I don't know. I'll find out in a few years' time in hindsight, with the benefit of hindsight. I'm very much a stickler for excellence. I think, for example, in the field of life coaching, I think it's great that people want to help other people. I think that's cool. But when you're doing something like life coaching, then I think it's really important you've got experience and you can actually facilitate people through processes on a consistent basis. So for example, you wouldn't go to a 3-day brain surgery workshop and then operate on someone on Monday. You'd have to have lots of years of experience. And when I got into personal development about 15 years ago, and I studied NLP, I went through a very rigorous course and testing process, of which I failed the first time. And I then had to go back and resubmit my work to get an NLP qualification. And what I found, and it's not a criticism, I'm just observing what's going on, is that there are some great organizations that teach NLP, for example, and then you can do like a Groupon course for like 2 hours and get a certification. So I was like, cool, you know what? If people come and train with me, I want that to be a standard of excellence. I want people to know that if they've done a Super Genius program or gone through a Super Genius journey, that this is a person who's not just learned something, but they've applied it and got results on a consistent basis. So that's where that concept came from. But yeah, good memory. Well done. That was 2 years ago. So
that was, yeah, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I actually love that. And I'm the same. I mean, it's really interesting. I want to sort of delve into your background a little bit, because I think what's always really interesting in these, whenever you, or in my experience today, any coach or speaker that is doing this kind of work, that they've never woke up and gone, this is what I want to be when I'm older. You know, they've ended up in this, normally as a result of some adversity, some things not working out. I know me personally, and sort of knowing your story already, which we'll share in a minute, hopefully. I grew up with a belief that money equaled happiness. I went on this tangent. I wanted to make loads of money. I made loads of money. Then I got myself in loads of debt. And then I had to deal with that whole challenge of working through that and all these inner conflicts and my whole world, or my reality, as I call it, which was completely like so far removed from where I thought life should be, and then having to do more and more and more and more inner work. You can find the full episodes of the Make It Happen with Will Polston podcast here on YouTube, on iTunes, Spotify, and all other major podcast platforms.